Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new. Today we're going to kind of tackle this. This is the kitchen. We're in here, or I'm in here most hours of the day, and I'm going to kind of clean out and meal prep at the same time our fridge and see if I can salvage any food, meal prep from it, and so on. So join me. Things are already falling out. This isn't a good sign. Salsa. Okay, really quick, all I did was empty out the fridge of leftover containers and things like that. I kind of left some of this bottom stuff, I don't know if you can see down here. I left most of that there because most of it is bread and then a giant box of wine because Mama has those days.
Yep.
And so we have that, and then I opened up the drawers and I went through and I just took out anything that didn't need to be in there to see what I can do. And most of that looks good. On our door here, oh look, that's not even closed. This top one is where I like to keep some of our spicier stuff, and then things for like mom, so cold brew coffee and stuff like that I don't necessarily want my kiddos getting. This is more like their section with the jams, marmalade, and honey, and then so on and so forth down here. So that's pretty tidied up. I'm going to go through this, what's on the counter. I'll show you what we have, and then kind of disperse from there, see what we can do with it. Okay, so on the counter we have some like individual milks and orange juice. We actually visited our local library and they were doing free lunch today, and so the kiddos got that stuff from there. I have cilantro in here. It keeps better if you put it in a little jar with water and then just a plastic bag over it. We have a piece of an onion, and then more individual kind of containers. There's a couple of salsa, hummus, and then 2 guacamole, and then this cheese is so good. It's from Trader Joe's, the queso cheese, and that's open. I think we maybe, since it's open, might try to do nachos either for lunch or maybe even tonight for dinner, so we can use up some of that. I had a couple of these Joseph's pita bread in there, so these are so good because I keep them in the fridge. There's like 1.5 left in here. This chocolate cake, oh my gosh, it is so rich, and it was given to us, and so I had it in the fridge, but I don't know if we're gonna keep it. I mean, it seems like such a waste to toss it, but we haven't eaten it, and it's super rich. So I'm gonna check with my husband tonight, but that'll go back in the fridge. So let's get to this leftovers. Unfortunately, we have 1 hard-boiled egg here that's gonna have to be tossed because that has been in there for, I think, a little over a week. These are pasta sauce, these 2 here, so I think I'm going to do a couple meal preps with this and then freeze the rest. This is a leftover sweet and sour meatballs, so this is leftover rice. I'm not even sure if this is good, so I'll have to check that. I have some leftover bacon ranch chicken that might still be good, and this is another container of leftovers, so we'll check if that is good. And then down here is a little bit of leftover rice. This is what happens with leftovers. We had so much rice left over, and then we used it from here, and we just have like a tiny bit left. It's such a giant container, so we're gonna do something with that. I have some watermelon. The kids will probably, pineapple. The kids will probably finish up today. And then these are black olives. We're just gonna put them in a better kind of container that takes up a lot of space. This is applesauce we made, so we will freeze this before it goes bad. And then this is one of the lunches the kiddos got and didn't finish, so we'll go through that too. But not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Oh, and then back here I have some peppers. I thought we would have snacked on already. I think we'll use some of this for dinner too. So let me see what I can make from this. Okay, for dinner we were gonna do a no bean chili. I pretty sure I have that recipe in one of my videos. I will try to look for it, and if I find it, I will link it in the cards and in the description box down below. But I have some that was in the freezer. I froze like individual servings, and so we have like 7 individual servings here. Since we're gonna serve it either over tortilla chips as nachos or hot dogs, like as a chili dog type option, I think that that's going to be plenty. My original thought was to stretch it out by adding more of the sweet peppers, the mini sweet peppers, and then also adding in another pound of ground turkey. But I don't think I'm going to do that because, like I said, I think this is going to be enough with the add-ins that we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and put these frozen blocks into... I'm going to put them into the Instant Pot. That way I can leave it on the stay warm feature. And that way if my husband gets home a little bit later, I won't have to like reheat it again if I put it in versus if I put it in a pot or something like that. So I'm going to put these in the Instant Pot with just a little bit of water. Go ahead and get those going and then figure out what I want to do with the rest of this. Okay, so I went through the peppers and unfortunately a few of them were going really bad. And so I just had to toss the rest of the bag. So I didn't catch that one in time, but what I'm left with is some bacon chicken ranch. And so I think what I will do with this is go ahead and put it into one of these meal prep containers for my husband. And then I'm gonna put in also a wrap for him, or yeah, I'm gonna give him a couple of wraps to go with it, just right on top, and I'm gonna freeze it just like that. I've given it to him like that before, and he said that the tortillas came out just fine, so he can make himself a wrap or two, because there's plenty of chicken here, with this leftover chicken that I have. So let me grab him a wrap. We have these Extreme Wellness High Fiber large wraps, so I'm gonna put like 2 of those in here for him, and he can warm it up the day of, and then have a nice warm burrito-like wrap. I'm going to be gentle when I put that in and just go ahead and place it in there. I'm going to put some, I'm going to go ahead and saran wrap the top and then put it in the freezer like that, and then that way he can take it whenever he wants to. So we will get this in the freezer before it goes bad. This is how I like to take our leftovers and make freezer meals with it, or meal prep with it, because if you get a big enough stockpile, you can kind of rotate it and won't feel like you're having leftovers over and over again. So he'll put this in the freezer. I think he has like maybe 1 or 2 meals in there already, and he can kind of cycle through. I usually put this, the newest one, on the bottom, so he doesn't feel like he's having last night's dinner for lunch the next day. Not that there's anything wrong with that though, because that can be delicious also. So there's a meal prep for him, and we saved some food. The other meal prep that I was gonna do for him is just this leftover rice that I was telling you we had. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. And this is actually like a quinoa and brown rice mix that I do. There's a little bit of protein in there, and then this is leftover sweet and sour meatballs, and I'll go ahead and toss that in for him too. Now he's got 2 lunches done, and we saved a little bit of food from going to waste. Okay, I'm gonna prep myself a meal. I know that I also had these 3 meatballs that were in the fridge. I actually have warmed them up to eat for lunch today, but I didn't end up doing it. So these are cooked, and then I didn't want them to go to waste. So I remembered that I had some already cooked spaghetti squash in the freezer. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in here. Hopefully it fits with that little round, the way that it froze. And then I had some spaghetti sauce, so I'm going to actually weigh my spaghetti sauce. You know what? I am. So this is homemade spaghetti sauce, and I already have it in my Fitness Pal for myself. But obviously, if you used a jarred one, you want to just go ahead and use the macros off of that. I'm going to do about 100 grams spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to saran wrap. Actually, I'm not going to saran wrap it. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the fridge like this, because I'll probably have it tomorrow, so I don't need to freeze it. And then for the rest of the spaghetti sauce, I'm gonna go ahead and pour them into these silicone cups here. So we can freeze them and have spaghetti sauce already done. I know that each one of these is about half a cup. This is, when I use these, if I use these for my macros, it's not gonna be the most precise, so I just wanna probably be aware of that. Actually, what I could do, let's go ahead and set that down. And let's see about how much I pour into one. And then I'll know approximately how much these are. So each one is about 125 grams is what we're looking at. Not bad. Another jar here. Oh no, this jar is bad. Okay, so I lost a jar of pasta sauce. Let me see if I can save the applesauce. And I am going to put a little washi tape on these because in my head I'm telling myself right now, I'll surely remember which is applesauce and which is pasta sauce. But, you know, it's going to take about a day for them to freeze. And it'll probably take me about another day to remember I have them in the freezer. So I'll forget by then which was which. So I'm just going to spoon the applesauce in here too. I love these silicone liners because they just pop right out super, super easy. Our applesauce, we use the natural Nurturer's recipe, and then I just kind of tweak it as I go along. I will link her original recipe to below. But it's so great because it has butternut squash in it. So again, a little bit extra vitamins, no added sugar. And my kids love it. We usually just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. They love it when it comes, we do it in the Instapot, and they love it when it comes right out from the Instapot. It's super nice. Okay, that was just a super quick cleanup of the fridge. You can see that is my lunch for tomorrow. I went ahead and put the individual like milk and orange juice that the kids had here. That'll probably be done this week, honestly. That's extra egg whites back there for us. Down here again is our breads and then the wine. I kind of have hidden the chocolate cake down there for my kiddos. And then the doors pretty much still look the same. I just kind of moved some stuff around. I put some of the individual things that we have received here, and then I put the black olives in a jar up there. We added 2 more meals for my husband's lunches this week, and then also almost a complete 6 of pasta, and then so almost complete. We got like 5.5 or 4.5. And then I have applesauce for the kids to snack on. We'll just defrost the day that we want to have those.